Ay, coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again, yeah. State your name, been dope on flame. I just switched the lanes.
What's up, guys? It's your homegirl, Just Juju, and this is Always 718. Life from the perspective of a chick from Queens. My take on a variety of topics: music, pop culture, health, wellness, fitness, business, and my fave, food. We discuss current events and social issues with you, my people. I want to begin by giving a special shout out to my nephew, Marquis. He just celebrated his 18th birthday. 18. I'm not in a hurry. I just can't believe that my nephew's 18. I really love him so much. He's a good kid, very charismatic, handsome, and I want him, along with all of the children in my life, to be inspired. And that's why I do what I do. Why we do what we do, because we have people that are watching, and he's one of them. So shout out to you, Marquis. Most recently, him and his brother Matt got into boxing, so hopefully one of these days I'll get a chance to come down and see what y'all got. Anyway, we all had a great time on my nephew's birthday. It was on Monday, Verzuz night, and I'm gonna get into that in just a moment. But yeah, definitely a lit birthday present for you, kid. And despite him being only 18 and wanting to listen to NBA Youngboy, he did appreciate the music and let his mom and I hijack it with Brandy and Monica all night. So shout out to you. I am super excited. I got to share that moment with my nieces and nephews. The younger generation need to know, because it was great. And it's timeless and classic music that we grew up on. I want you to sing. We're going to learn the words, okay? This new generation, you need to learn the words to Monica and Brandy. You like this song? I know it's good. Things have changed. All right, wait for the beat drop. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, no. There's too many hits. Too many hits, right? You don't even know these songs. It's sad, my niece doesn't know any of these songs, but you heard some of these songs. Just fix your hair. So many memories. The soundtrack of a generation. And my love life. We're not even going to go there today. I promise. I have so much to talk about since the last time you've heard from me. So let's get into a segment I like to call, Is It Beef or Is It All Love? A segment geared towards conflict resolution. It's not beef, it's conflict resolution. And during the segment, we pick a general or trending topic and I give my commentary on it. And we discuss most topics or situations, and I invite you to submit your situations, your questions, so we can really tackle it on the show. But how fitting a Verzuz, Brandy and Monica. Is it beef or is it all love? We are ready to know, guys. Let's go. Did y'all enjoy the Verzuz? I know y'all enjoyed it, because I'm looking online and I'm seeing what everybody's reactions were. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was amazing. Shouts out to Verzuz. They broke a new record, over 1.1 million views. And that's incredible, truly amazing. And shout out to those iconic ladies, Brandy, Monica, because you broke records. I mean,
that is it against the... Oh my God, 1.2 million people watching. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, it was lit. And Brandy, I think we could still say lit in 2020, okay? I think it's cool. I don't know.
I don't even say dope for fresh no more. On a lit. Did it say lit? Or lit's kind of gone too?
Huh?
Lit's gone. Like the lit that was lit. That shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
That.
Listen. It was dope. It was hot. That was a hot song.
It was dope. I needed a few days to enjoy it and just rewatch it before I spoke on it. I mean, everybody was up in that live, okay? All the celebrities, the who's who, and I saw a lot of my friends, and it was just a good time. A really good time. But I really want to touch on some of the key highlights for the night. And I mean, all of the songs, of course, the songs. Brandy and Monica, your songs are amazing. And like, I can't even imagine how anybody could pick or choose between the two artists. I love them both equally. I mean, Brandy, she's the vocal Bible. You can't deny that. Her aura is so full of light and just pure. Her voice is so angelic. Her harmonies, range, vocal arrangements are top notch. Monica's been doing this for a long time as well. Her voice is unmatched. And when I say Monica has those beats, when that beat drop on a Monica record, you know she's about to give it to y'all. And Miss Thing is going to tell you about yourself. Anyway, you know she kills it every time. But let's talk about the fashions, okay? Let's talk about the fashions. Is it beef or is it all love, guys? I mean, Brandy was on some spiritual nest.
How my feet looking over here, Mom? Good?
The shoe was mean.
The shoe was mean, ain't it?
I loved it. Brandy's been on a spiritual journey. I'm talking about self-care, speaking on a lot lately, and just really pouring into herself, getting past some things.
By the time you hear something about me and you start talking about me, I've already moved past it.
Yeah, that's what B7 is. Like, a lot of the songs that I sang on that album, you know, I was going through it, but I overcame it. You know what I mean? And of course, we still have things that we need to grow and learn from and get better with. But you know, I had to learn that same lesson.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot earlier than I did.
She mentions during the live that she couldn't put any music out for a while due to legal or contractual reasons. But shout out to Brandy because she has a new album out and it's on her very own label, Brand New Ink, which she co-wrote and co-produced. Independent, okay? The album titled B7 is doing very well on the charts and streaming like crazy. It's really a great body of work. Also, Monica released Celebration back in April, and she has a new single out called Trenches featuring one of my faves, Lil Baby. Super dope concept, and the lyrics are really on point. So, I mean, it's really doing well. Verzuz is really doing well for people. But is it beef or is it all love? Again, the fashions. Brandy had her sandals. She had the signature braids. She was giving us a real laid back look. And I appreciated it because it was a chill vibe. Now, on the other hand, Monica came dressed to kill. Monica had a Fendi print design. She had the hat. It was just really clean. Monica wasn't playing.
Yeah. I already had my outfit picked out.
I see.
But we talked about it.
Period. Fendi cut the check.
Monica, who looked like she just stepped off the runway at Milan Fashion Week, was really giving it to us. And I felt it though. But, you know, people always have to do the most. Why did they say the Fendi was fake? I mean, I don't know. It looked authentic to me, but anyway, the two totally different ladies giving two totally different styles, but the looks were definitely classic. Brandy again with the braids, Monica with the sleek short bob, and it was cool to see the diverse looks from the ladies. So shout out to their stylists, hair, makeup. Great job, guys. All right, so let's get into the songs, the album cuts, the hit singles. I can't name all the songs because there are just too many. I love them.
A fan favorite, produced by Warren Campbell. And here we go.
Is the only explanation to the question.
So let's go ahead and get into what everybody always wants to get into, the controversial stuff. And when we want to keep it positive, we keep it positive because we love women empowerment. Okay? Shout out to Kamala Harris for joining that live, by the way, and reminding everyone to vote. I think it was very important to have her come through on this Instagram live featuring these two young black ladies, legends in their own right, to encourage us to vote. And I know how important this is. November, we got to get out there. I think the appearance made perfect sense. I mean, even Joe Biden was up in there.
When we all vote, it's so important. It's so important.
We understand the importance of people getting out and voting.
Voting, yes.
And they feel so helpless right now, but that's how you help yourself. You help your community.
Yes.
You help your brothers and sisters.
That's right.
Shout out to them for coming through with the message. Vote. Vote. Viewership was through the roof, and it was a huge night to have a huge conversation. So vote. Please vote. Okay? So last time we checked, there was bad blood between the two ladies. I mean, them being friends, them not being friends, collaborating once again on It All Belongs to Me, which is a great song, by the way. Just frenemies. The very public and long-standing rivalry that at some point was rumored to have turned physical. And we didn't really know the truth. I mean, it was sort of addressed, but we've heard the rumors, but we never really knew the truth. Recently, even veteran music producer Dallas Austin reveals that there was an altercation that took place right before Brandy and Monica's first ever live performance of The Boy Is Mine. And at first, I was just like, are we looking for the shade or a beautiful moment in time tonight? And I think everyone was looking for a little bit of both. And there were some awkward moments on both ladies' end. It seemed a little bit awkward at first, a little uncomfortable, but then they started warming up to each other. I mean, just look at Twitter. Twitter, okay? Some people thought Brandy was being shady. Some people thought Monica was being shady. I think they just gave us what we wanted. They discussed and touched a little bit on the disagreement, as Monica called it, and didn't get too deep into it, but it was addressed. And yes, I can see why some people thought there was shade going on. But now, I don't want to highlight any negativity. I want to keep it positive because we are trying to protect black women. And I say that seriously. But we have to keep it all the way 100. There were moments. It seemed a little shady, okay? Especially when Brandy had to drop that Moesha song on Monica like that. Then she dropped the classic Missing You, the iconic all-female collaboration featuring Gladys Knight, Shaka Khan, and Tamir from the movie Set It Off. Just drop them off on Monica like that to remind us.
I'll find a way to get through. I'll find a way. Living without you, I don't know.
Not you know. You gotta sing it.
No.
Sing it.
No. I will not sing the Moesha theme song.
How you not gonna sing it? That's the only time we mow and mow.
Because
And Monica had to remind us she didn't get the call for that one. So sorry, Monica. You know they usually call Brandy for stuff like that.
the Waiting to Excel soundtrack came
They
about.
left me out of that.
I'm sorry I didn't call you for that. Waiting to Excel. Sorry about that. Waiting to Excel though.
But Brandy, you know what you were doing when you hit Monica with the Disney collaboration with the late and iconic Whitney Houston, an idol and mentor to the both. I guess Brandy had to let her know she was a Disney princess, and I think Brandy did. I mean, you're going to have to eat that, Monica. You did assault her, and I'm not saying allegedly, y'all basically confirmed it. And she didn't even call the police, I don't think. But Brandy, you know what you were doing when you hit Monica with the Disney collaboration. You know what you was doing. Anyway, though, Brandy was a tad, I think she was just playing on a laid back, just very warm and open, just having a very giggly time. The Verzuz meme started early, and I mean early. The memes had Brandy with her journaling. She was journaling, doing poetry during the live. It was great.
So let me see. Let me go. I had to bring my journal with me. My journal is my best friend.
I gotta do better. I feel bad now.
Why? I got you.
I don't have it.
I have another poem.
Okay.
Okay, because I write poems and stuff. Y'all gonna have to deal with the poems. That's why I had to write my little poem in the beginning. Thank y'all for letting me read my little poems and stuff.
It was great. And Monica even jokingly commented that she had to do better. You know, better. You do better, you know better, you do better. And I think Monica's been working on herself as well, and I like it. I like the way she's been looking on Instagram, very snatched. She's been working out and working on herself, getting herself together. And I know the both of those ladies have had high-profile relationships and splits. Monica recently divorced from former NBA star Shannon Brown. I guess we're all grown and handling grown folk business, okay?
I think this is the first time we both been single in the same time.
That means that we can do a lot of stuff because we don't have nobody distracting us from stuff. So
Well,
you know I'm a businesswoman. I have to keep everything.
I want to say I really was on cloud 9, feeling so many different emotions during the verses. I didn't know what to expect, but I knew it was going to be good. And we were about to get into one of the longest but dopest catalogs in the game. I mean, this is my era. And when I say these ladies gave us what we wanted, they gave us the beef. They gave us the love. They gave us the conversation. And they gave us a clear picture of how different they are. How important they are in their own right. Amazing in their own right. And how different they are. They are two totally different women and artists. So it's beyond me why they were pitted against each other for so long. They bring two totally different sounds to the table. They are not the same type of artist at all. And when you think about like the similarities, the only similarity is they may have been around the same age, out, coming up around the same time. And when you look at what Brandy has done and you look at what Monica has done, it's different. It's different, and we have to give them their flowers and give them their own respect for their individuality, because that's what they both brought to us on Verzuz, especially, again, with the fashions, okay? But we're not done with the mess. It wasn't really that messy, but it was. But speaking about shade, you know, I wasn't trying to find it, trying to keep it light and positive, but I do want to speak on some shade. I mean, the people commenting on Monica seeming cold and shading Brandy. I saw a little bit of discomfort, and I think you have to realize with just being in the same room without having spoken in about 8 years and have it all on live in front of millions, it might get a little uncomfortable. And I'm not sure if they spoke beforehand prior to that day. I would hope so, but we really don't know. But there was a particular moment, and I did feel a way about something, and it was Monica singing Sideline. And you know, harmonizing on the whole, it brought me to think about a particular song that is currently on Brandy's new album. The song titled I Am More. Okay, beautiful song where Brandy gets vulnerable and discusses a possible third party situation, sideline situation on the track. So please don't judge, because clearly toxic relationships can happen to the very best of us. Clearly we know Brandy has been through some ish, but touching on that topic was very brave, and she touches on the topic of being a sideline and being in a situation with somebody that was possibly taken, you know? And shout outs to her for being so brave. I'm not sure if Monica is aware of this song on B7, and I'm not trying to start anything, but every time Monica harmonized, Brandy seemed to be cringing, and I was cringing with her. Don't want to be messy, but Monica did tell us she only kicked in doors when it had to do with the opposite sex. And after Slow Jams, when discussing her collaborations with Usher, she was a bit shady. They both were towards Usher. Monica let us know that Usher denied her when asked to do another collab.
It doesn't matter if he's acting or singing.
Yes.
I told him let's do another record, and he didn't want to. So I said, okay. You know.
How many records y'all got? How many records y'all have together?
Okay.
How many records y'all have together?
Well, we got about 2, 3 of them. I thought we were going to continue to keep that. But I asked him a couple of days ago, and
He needs to say yes.
he was like, no.
Especially with that new single you
I
coming
mean,
out with.
it's okay. You know how I'm wired. You know how I'm wired.
Yeah.
It's
Usher need to go ahead on and do that.
It's another level of things change for me with a no. You know.
Song before we start saying
Go
some
ahead
stuff
on.
that
Go
we.
ahead on.
Could you
I really am a straight shooter, and I really do.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I didn't mean no shade by
I
that.
just said I was
trying to
delivered.
I was trying to make a joke. You know, I was trying to work on my comedy.
We
Be
had
quiet.
disagreement. That's what happened.
I know.
We had disagreement, and
This mean you're not gonna do the tour? I'm sorry. That was a mistake.
you know what? We had a disagreement.
Right.
We had a disagreement. But this particular, I only kick in doors if it's something, involving the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? And I had to kick in doors.
So gone over
I'm so sorry.
you.
It was a hard time around this time.
Yeah. New Monica. Silly of me.
And I bring this up to say that the Usher being a factor between the two ladies, it was a story. And Brandy did remind Monica Usher was her boyfriend on Moesha. I guess we'll never know if Usher was being messy and trying to holler at the two ladies at the same damn time. Just thinking out loud. But clearly, hurt exists on both ends, and we want to believe that they've mended fences and they've patched it up. Now, they may not become the best of friends, but they are forever linked due to the smash, The Boy Is Mine. Let's talk about what some of us thought was shade from Brandy. I mean, it wasn't shade, but she had to let people know, and a lot of people don't know that The Boy Is Mine was Brandy's song. And she does have to remind us from time to time that song was hers. And I'm not sure if Monica appreciates the fact that Brandy likes to bring this up. But the fact remains that, Monica, you got to give it up to Brandy. Give Brandy that love because she sought after you specifically to do that song. She tried to build a bridge when everybody was trying to pit y'all against each other. Okay? For y'all to push through together, and we will never know what really happened behind the scenes. But that was a bag. And a big one, and very big of her, and we got to give it up to her for that. So let's talk about the venue. At first, I thought it was shade once again, ATL being Monica's home turf, but really it was bigger than that. The venue, Tyler Perry Studio, was a really, really, really great look. They kept it ultra black. Shout out to Nas, love the record. Versus, I'm waiting for that Nas versus. It ain't never gonna happen. But back to Tyler Perry. I mean, shout out to him. Recently being named a billionaire by Forbes. Okay. Black excellence, greatness. But back to the matter at hand. Yeah, they did the whole verses at Tyler Perry Studio. And that was huge for the culture. I mean, a black-owned studio with 2 major black women. It was just dope for us. And we really needed that right now. We really need to show our star power, our economic power, and we saw it in the views and the streams. They really did the numbers, okay? Speaking of numbers, okay, I have to talk about it. Everybody's talking about the finale. Is it beef or is it all love? Monica, people were calling you out, girl. Saying you were unhappy and I don't know. At the end of the day, people were mad. And I was kind of peed off too. I'm not bashing at my girl, Mo. And shout out to Monica. She's one of my favorite Scorpios. And I'm a Scorpio, by the way. So I think I understand a little bit about some of the behaviors To me, it's clear Monica seems to be a straight shooter, seems to be somebody that tells it like it is. She's not with all the extra and the fake. Like she said, she never had media training. She's ATL. She's not Hollywood. And you know, that's the image that she's consistently put out there over the years.
I didn't have like any media training or anything, but it's like just.
I remember when you did not know media training.
Oh God, I went through a lot, just blurting out whatever I felt.
I used to be in the cut like,
As opposed to Brandy. Even though Brandy had to remind her that she was from the SIP, Mississippi to be exact, and that was at the very beginning. She had to let Monica know because Monica was acting like she didn't know Brandy was from the South.
I would not come here and not do the Southern thing.
What's the Southern thing? I'm from the SIP. I'm from Mississippi. So what's the Southern thing? Tell me.
I let you go first.
You let me
Now,
go.
granted, Brandy left the South at a young age, and she's been in Hollywood acting, singing, and Calabasas, you know, with the Kardashians, but she was living a life I guess Monica couldn't relate to. And that's no shade. I don't know the terms of the verses, but I did hear Brandy say no features or no appearances. And that was when my boy Ray J hopped on. I mean, why not? We wanted to see the man, okay?
Shout out to Ray J.
That's so important. So important.
Cause I'm your sister, and always for you.
Know he has to get his camera time, and you know that's Brandy's little brother, but he's Ray J, and he had to come up and do his thing and have his sister's back. And I'm pretty sure Monica had her peoples too. So I mean, hey, I love seeing Ray J. Ray J during Best Friend was gonna have to happen, and I had to see him regardless. That's my song. Me and my brother used to sing that. And we really used to do that dance. We were Brandy and Ray J. We were only a year apart. We were just dancing and always loving that song, Best Friend, because my brother's my best friend. So, I don't know, but I can't stress to you how many songs there were, and it was the longest verses that I have ever seen, about 3 hours. And you know I was engaged the whole time. Even though I was partying, celebrating my nephew's 18th birthday, I really was enjoying myself with the family. And it really made for a great night. I left feeling a little peed off because I mean we were all waiting for the Verzuz finale and waiting for the big one. The boy is mine. And Monica refused to deliver. That was the finale. I feel like I gave more of a performance than Monica. And I'm going to show it to y'all. I mean, let's go back to the is it beef or is it all love? Why? I would hope it's all love by the end of a 3-hour Verzuz just to give us that legendary moment. But no, I could not tell if it was beef. I could not tell if it was love. Between Monica and the way she was acting, like she didn't know the words and shrinking away from Brandy's affections. Monica didn't want to sing any Brandy songs. She didn't know them, I guess. I don't know. But Brandy, the consummate showgirl and professional, was singing along with a lot of Monica songs. And Monica just would not. And I guess people weren't feeling it. Monica girl, they wasn't feeling you. I mean, we're Scorpios. Anyway, that's all I got. It was a long Verzuz. So I really had to get into this. Is it beef or is it all love? Because I wasn't sure about that hug as they walked off the stage. Just left wondering. But thanks to all the behind the scenes footage posted, it seems that Brandy and Monica do follow each other on Instagram. So it is IG official. So it looks like it's all love. I mean, they were hugging and singing and dancing backstage, shouting each other out on the gram. And since Monica had penned a nice caption showing love to Brandy. And Ray J, we waiting for the tour to happen. Make the tour happen, Ray J, because you're the money man, the business guy. You're the guy to promote it. And so we will be patiently waiting on you, Ray J, to make it happen. Again, I want to shout out Verzuz, Swizz Beatz, Timbaland, everyone over there that made this happen for the fans. Verzuz continues to break records and has kept us entertained during this hard time. And we need it. Now, I don't want to end on a sad note, but Brandy and Monica did begin the night with a very special prayer and showed love to the late Chadwick Boseman, most famous for playing the role of the iconic black superhero Black Panther. And they really stressed the fact that they did this Verzuz for us, the fans. They did it to bring healing, and that's what it's about.
He has kept us all. He brought us this far, and he brought us here tonight.
Absolutely.
And so to his wife, to his fans, to his colleagues, everyone that's suffering so much, we pray that we can just bring a little bit of joy by acknowledging the music and the arts, because he was a man that was dedicated to the arts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he was just the king.
So, sending prayers to all of Chadwick Boseman's loved ones, his fans. He left his mark on this world in a huge way. The legacy is great. And one final thought, when you do things that are bigger than you, you will be anointed. And that's what they showed. And I hope they received the healing that they wanted from this experience. Well, I'm going to leave you with some of my fave moments from the night, because I was jamming. But please make sure you DM me at jujubes_100, also at always.718 with your is it beef or is it love topics, questions, and situations. Also look out for my segment, Where's Juju? What's Juju Eating? Where I share my favorite eateries, dishes, and also check me out on IGTV, YouTube, and I'm available on Apple, Google, and Spotify. That was a lot, guys. Thank you for listening and watching. It was a lot to get into, but I'm your girl, Just Juju, and this is Always 718.
Everything
Peace
is the reason why I made the call. The boy's mind. The boy's mind was like, it was missing something. It just was like it was a great song, you know, different. You know, Rodney's amazing, LaShawna's amazing, but I felt like it was missing something, and it was missing you. And I felt like what you brought. Excuse me. It doesn't come yet. It's later. It's later.
You know,
working today.
Big bag.
Exit stage, just keep
Big
walking.
bag.
Keep walking. Keep walking. Should we walk the other way and get more camera time? Okay, good. Is Verzuz over? Yeah. But like it's called like the thing is called like rivalry.
I'ma keep it real with everyone, it ain't no faking. I was trying to give it to you, you was trying to take it. And you cannot run from reality, gotta face it. I've been trying to do everything for you to just make it. Don't care what people say, especially when they talk crazy. Don't play with me, I'm baby.
I'm sorry it's your 18th birthday. This is Verzuz night tonight. Sorry that you're a young boy. It's Brandy and Monica night I won a talent show singing this song, actually. And there are people that follow me that know that I won a talent show singing this song. But I can't sing this song anymore. Come on, Brandy. No one has said the best things are for real. Looking for your boy right on time. Come on, you can't be playing Meg Thee Stallion while we're watching this. She's watching Meg Thee Stallion. We're trying to do verses with Brandy and Monica. It's not hot girl time right now. It's not hot girl time. We on hot girl time every time. It's Brandy and Monica time. We start and never love. All right, I'm gonna get my voice out.
Yes. Come on, music.
Decide how to stay right there. I should make a move, but I won't. I should. I knew that it won't be right. I wanna get down the first time. Come on. I was thinking you would turn around, but everybody knows almost doesn't count. Come on. damn.
I'm still standing like the Statue of Liberty. I put my name in the history book so you'll forever remember me. Rivalry is the toughest warrior.
Hey, everybody's eating.
If you're up, smiling, if you're down, either way I'm gonna be around. You should've known that I would stay by your side. You should've known your girl was gonna ride or die. And it just don't matter if you reach a part out in, doing 5 to 10.
Plus you got your own. Plus you got your own.
Who's she talking about?
You know?
Who's she talking about?
Yeah.
If you ever left my side, it'd be like taking the sun from the sky. I'd probably die without you in my life, 'cause I need you to shine.
Yes.
Your light, you're everything to me.
Sing.
The air that I breathe. Around you. The joy of children.
Yeah, it's like a feeling. This new Monica.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You remind me of my Gucci shoes. Every time you walk past, all the girls be looking at you.